sure you're ready for this?
I'll do my best.
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and the prom queen.
Welcome to the best soccer show. The best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go! It's the best soccer show. Jason Davis, Jared Dubois. Happy Labor Day, America.
Hey, why are we working on Labor Day?
Are we working on Labor Day? Because we love the people that much, Jared. Because we give them what they want, which is everything between us. We have all the love to give, right? Isn't that how it goes?
All you need is love.
All you need is love. Yeah, that's a Beatles song. Is that right?
Oh my God! You have to ask that?
No, I know it's a Beatles song. Yeah, I have G-Funk in my head today, which we're gonna get to.
Oh my Lord!
So much singing before the show started.
By the way, did you ever watch that G-Funk documentary on YouTube?
I don't think I did. No, I don't think, and I haven't seen the NWA Straight Outta Compton or what. I haven't seen that movie either. I know.
What are you up to?
I got some issues. I got some catching up to do.
Now, if it was a New Jack thing, you'd be into it, or like you wouldn't even be able to wait a second.
It's not that. Look, I do lean East Coast over West Coast. Okay, I think that's just where you come from, where you come up, that kind of thing, right? You're probably West Coast over East Coast, Jared. Like if I said Tupac or Biggie, you probably say Tupac, right?
Yeah, but I would really say Dre or Snoop.
Okay, you'd say Dre, but Dre over Puffy.
Puffy?
Yeah. Look, I know Puffy is corny as hell. I know. Okay. But I was always East Coast over West Coast. But it's not like I didn't listen to it. Like we've talked about it. I had Doggy Style this day I could get it.
I gotta say the finest playlist that either of us has ever put out is your New Jack City New Jack Attack
New
playlist.
Jack Attack. But it's not. It's. I'm not going to say it's better than anything you've done. It's equal to some of the J. Rodius playlists that are out there in the world. We have many of them on Spotify. We should share some more. We should give out some more.
Yeah, I'm a fan of many of my my playlists, including the Gentleman's Guide to Barbecuing at a Leisurely Place.
I was having a discussion today about what constitutes barbecue versus grilling out. What's the difference? Smoke is the difference?
And coals. I think those are the two things.
Slow cooking is the difference, I think.
Yeah, right? The temperature is a big part of it. If you're under 250, I think you're barbecuing. If you're over 250 in that 3 and 4 range, you're grilling.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I mean, it's burgers and dogs when you're grilling out.
Dude, you can't grill out in California right now. It's 117 this weekend, dude.
No, you guys, we're getting that slow, that little tiny hit. You know what my wife likes to say? Like, this is when I first met her. She's from Puerto Rico.
Yes.
When I first met her, one thing she would say in the middle of like August, she would look at me and she'd go, "Winter is coming." And I'm like, "What do you mean? What are you talking?" And she never
Game of Thrones fan?
Was not Game of Thrones related at all.
She just randomly quotes Game of Thrones?
She just says it because she means it. She means winter is coming because she feels like that time when the temperature drops 5 degrees, my wife runs for a blanket. She's like, she covers herself. It's crazy. It's a lot.
It hit 121 degrees in Santa Ana, hottest temperature ever recorded in LA County. And then the Galaxy had a game last night in the middle of it. It was crazy.
Well, it's a game they won.
Sorry, LA had a game in the middle. The 2 teams were there. And from what I hear, 2 teams were there.
Are you taking shots? Whoa.
I mean, we'll get to it.
Are you going to join the Troll Patrol? Are you going to join up with your boys? Yeah,
I'm always down the troll. If you haven't met that already, if you haven't found out about me already, I'm always down the troll.
We're going to come to the Galaxy and the Troll Patrol and Chicharito Hernandez and his fit in this Galaxy team a little bit. But first, we got some Marco Polo. It's been a long time since we played Marco Polo on this show, and it feels only right.
Marco.
I like that last one. Marco.
It's for the long-term Best Soccer Show fans. You know what this is. For those of you guys that maybe are more of a newer listener, basically what Jason and I are going to figure out is who's in the pool.
Who's in the pool? Now, we're going to start with the last meaningful roster that Greg Berhalter put together, right? We're going to start with
we're considering the last meaningful. There's a Camp Cupcake roster. We're not counting that.
No, that's not.
We're not going to count the last 2 games of League of Nations. No. Basically, what I want to know is the last game that Christian Pulisic was in. If his name's not in it, that wasn't a meaningful game. So we had to go back to October 15th.
Hold on, really? That's the deciding factor. If Christian Pulisic was there, it's like when you go to high school, when you're at a high school party, and unless like the captain of the football team shows up, it's not really a cool party. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, unless oh man, I wanted to think of the guy's name from I Can't Hardly Wait. Now I can't do it.
Oh,
Dang, I couldn't remember his name.
Somebody in the chat will have that. Yeah,
something Rick Darris or something like that. I can't remember.
It's always Lance. It's always a Lance, right? Oh, that was the one with Vanderbeek. What was that one? Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
I don't want your life.
Your life. So going back to October 15th, this is the League of Nations game against
Canada, right?
Yeah, Canada.
And
just to refresh, I'm gonna kind of run through real quick who the starting lineup and the subs in this game, just to give people a refresher on. This is the last time we feel that there was a full, what we would call quote unquote, a full strength 23-man roster under Greg Berhalter.
The coolest kid in school showed up, so this is why it means something. That's what we're saying.
So its starting lineup in this game was Zach Steffen in goal.
Okay.
DeAndre Yedlin at right back, Aaron Long, Tim Ream in the middle, Daniel Levitz on the left. Midfield of Christian Roldan, Michael Bradley, Weston McKennie, and Jordan Morris. With up top, I mean, it's a 4-3-3, so I'm a little bit off on this actually. The front being Josh Sargent and Christian Pulisic. Off the bench, there was Nick Lima, Giassi Zardes, and Paul Areola played in this game as subs.
Uh-huh.
And then further on the bench, not used, Sean Johnson, Brad Guzan, Matt Miazga, Will Trapp, Jackson Yule, Sebastian Lletget, Corey Baird, Tyler Boyd, and Reggie Candace. So those are your 23. The best America could give you, 23.
At the time. Absolutely. Yes. And it's been a long time. It's been a while since we had a meaningful game. So Marco Polo now is maybe not what it's going to be come March if they play Nations League finals, semifinal, and final, or
potential friendlies in November.
Maybe things are dicey right now with playing games. The CONCACAF's president Victor Magdaliani is saying we may not get in those preliminary round games in October, November. I have to wait until March. So March, and then obviously June is when qualifiers kick in for the U.S. men's national team. So we will use that base. Now, there are other players that could make their way into the pool that are maybe hanging out around the what do they call it? Like an apron? You have a pool. What's it called, fancy guy?
The deck?
Pool deck. Okay. I don't know. I don't own a pool. How would I know? It's not 106 degrees here right
It's not like you've never been to one.
The deck of the pool. People are hanging out. They're in chairs. Maybe they're like waiting for their turn to play like pool basketball, or what else do you do in a pool?
There's sunbathing.
Well, I'm saying like they want to play, right? They want to get in the pool and they want to participate. So they're hanging out waiting for their turn. And we'll get to some of those guys because I think there are some young players who aren't in this list, weren't ready then, who may be closer to ready now.
Yeah, it's a question mark. That's the what we're going to talk about is basically who's in the pool now. So to decide who's going to be in, we got to make room in the pool, right? There's a capacity.
Yeah,
only 23 men can fit in the pool.
Right. Don't pee in the pool, and only 23 players in the pool.
So with some of the names that we're putting out there right now, to Jason, for you, what pops out as someone that just doesn't deserve to be in the pool right now from what you're seeing out there? Let's make some space in the pool.
I think Daniel Levitz at left back is a sacrifice we have to make. I don't think Daniel Levitz is going to be in the pool.
Fully out of the starting lineup, or out of the pool?
No, he might be. Let me think about this for a second. I think he's out of the pool. And I'll give you two. You want me to give you the two players who will knock him out of the pool?
No, let's okay. I'll go ahead. What are the two players who are going to knock him out?
We're talking about left back, right? So you have Reggie Cannon to play can play right back. I'm not saying he's going to. You also have DeAndre Yedlin can play right back. Serginho Dest can play either side, and you have Anthony Robinson now, who's making his move to Fulham. I'm not saying that he's clearly better than Daniel Levitz, but I think once the Premier League starts going, it starts getting going here.
You named two players there that were not in the pool last time around.
Not in the pool.
So those were Serginho Dest and Anthony Robinson.
Yes.
Okay? So both guys who surely would have seen minutes if the Holland game in last March had gone through.
Well, I think you can be sure about Dest. I'm not sure about Robinson. He's a little bit more iffy, but I don't think Daniel Levitz, who right now is a decent MLS left back. I mean, there are better left backs in Major League Soccer right now.
So Jason Davis's pool. You got Serginho Dest and you've got Anthony Robinson. So you're dropping both Nick Lima and Daniel Levitz.
Well, Nick Lima can play both sides, right? And he's versatile. I mean, he has played both sides. I guess this is a question of what does the fullback pool look like? I mean, the mini pool.
Let's have that conversation then, because you can't. Unfortunately, with the U.S., you can't talk about the left without talking about the right because you're kind of shoehorning someone in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't if you don't have a good
on
left.
The right. I think you and I are cut and dry. I don't know. Maybe you're not. I'm
Okay.
number 100% Reggie Cannon is our right back right now.
Well, so again, I think
Starter.
Serginho Dest's best position is right back. That's his best position.
Agreed.
Does that mean he should start there over Reggie Cannon, over anybody else you might call into the
Not
pool?
to me, just because I think the drop off from Serginho Dest to be it Nick Lima, be it I haven't seen Anthony Robinson play at the highest level, so I don't know if Anthony Robinson can make that spot his own. Then maybe Dest is the guy at choice at right back. Right now, I feel good enough about Reggie Cannon being first choice with DeAndre Yedlin backing him up. To be honest with you,
Okay.
and then I would bring in Dest. I would bring Anthony Robinson in on a friendly, maybe see what he's doing. I thought it's a toss-up right now for me between Anthony
By the
Robinson.
way, that dude's name is Jedi. We should just straight up call him Jedi. That's what everybody calls him in England.
Right?
His nickname is Jedi.
How badass is that?
Can't do better than that.
Can I shake his dad's hand?
This is what makes me so mad about people who have good nicknames. Okay, we talked about this. For whatever reason, throughout my life, nicknames never stuck to me. They just didn't. People might have tried. The best they could do was my initials, JD. Like that's a character on Scrubs. You and I are both JDs. Whatever.
Yeah.
JD is not a nickname. It's just initials.
It's an acronym.
I just never got a good nickname. Meanwhile, Anthony Robinson goes to like a camp when he's 18 or 17 or something, and I say, what do you want to be called? He says Jedi, and it sticks to him for the rest of his life. How does that work? How does that happen? But I don't know,
man. Some people just got that kind of thing going for them, man. And I don't know that I could walk the walk with a name like Jedi.
Is there a better nickname in the American pool right now than Jedi for Anthony?
I don't know if there is another nickname in the American pool besides that.
We call him. Is he? Let's see.
Alan Gordon's Snowshoes was pretty good.
Alan Gordon was Snowshoes?
Yeah, you never heard people call him Snowshoes?
I don't think I ever saw I would understand Yeti or Sasquatch or something like he was Snowshoes.
Flash was the other thing, Flash Gordon, because it was like a joke on his speed. But
everybody whose last name is Gordon gets called Flash.
Jitterbug was pretty good for DeMarcus Beasley.
For DeMarcus Beasley. Run DMB is my favorite, but that's not even a nickname. It's more like a branding.
Landy Cakes.
Who?
Landy Cakes.
Landy Cakes. This is a terrible nickname. Nobody should have. Deuce is the best American nickname of all time.
Okay, you're right. I think Deuce is probably the best. Jedi's got to do something at the World Cup level before he's
right. You don't get on the nickname Pantheon until you show up at the World Cup. That's for Anthony Robinson. All right, well, that's the fullback situation. So, again, I'd be willing to bet that Daniel Levitz and Nick Lima are out of the pool at the moment.
All right, so at the center back position, the starters in this game were Aaron Long, Tim Ream. On the bench, you had Matt Miazga. Yeah, just Matt Miazga on the bench as center back options.
Yeah.
So what's your feel right now?
So this must have been a situation where John Brooks was injured and not available.
I'm assuming so. So I think right away you can probably bump Matt Miazga and put John Brooks at minimum in that spot. That's a 1-for-1.
So you think, I'm not saying Miazga did a lot down the stretch of the championship season to earn himself this spot, but you think Miazga loses out to Ream, who is a left-footed player, can play left back as well if necessary. You think that?
I think that keeps him in the team for the functionality, and also, in this October 15th game, Tim Ream was your captain. Greg Berhalter is a fan of Tim Ream, and he's helped his team earn their way back into the Premiership.
Yeah, there's some experience there. That's definitely helping.
Marco.
I'm not.
Marco.
I can't tell you where Matt Miazga is.
You can't tell me what team he plays for?
No. I know. He's owned by Chelsea, but I don't know where he is.
He played at Reading, I believe, this season, and I think he's coming back, but I don't know that I checked up on that.
I'm just saying, Tim Ream is starting for his team back every day. Greg Berhalter likes him. He's on leadership caliber. Even if he's on a bench, I think he brings something to the team in terms of veteran mentality, leadership. So I'm okay with that. So that's John Brooks, Aaron Long, probably the starters, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With Tim Ream on the bench.
You
need to drop someone to get another option because we're not talking about McKenzie. We're not talking about who else potentially.
Mark McKenzie. I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's elevated into. I think he's a U23 player. He's an Olympic age player. You put him in the Olympic pool. It's a different pool. It's a slightly smaller pool. It's not a kiddie pool. It's a slightly smaller pool. It's not Olympic size, right? So we're talking an Olympic size pool. Although that makes sense.
A wading pool.
Okay. Yeah, it's a wading pool. Sure.
Okay.
It's one of those big above ground pools. That's
all right. So we're going with Aaron Long, Tim Ream, and John Brooks.
Yes, with the caveat that you could throw a fourth name in there, but Tim Ream is versatile, so I think that's why he gets in there. And yeah, okay, let's go with that.
Okay, all right. So then, you want to run through the goalkeepers real quick? We had Zach Steffen starting in that one.
No, Zach Steffen, Brad Guzan, and Sean Johnson. I don't think there's much of a. You could argue that Matt Turner maybe deserves a look. Maybe he's in the pool, and maybe he's pushing, I think, Sean Johnson, who you already know, who is a fine shot stopper and a decent player with the ball at his feet, but good for a gaff every now and then. I mean, he's not your starter for sure. So where are you looking?
Man, is Brad Guzan's time behind him?
Well, you keep Brad Guzan in the team because he has experience, because he's that link to the last generation. He's not your starter as long as Zach Steffen.
There's a name that it's always going to come up. The name that's always going to come up is Bill Hamid.
But I think Matt Turner has passed Bill Hamid right now in terms of MLS goalkeepers, in my mind. I think a lot of people would say that Turner actually does have potential US #1 kind of levels in him.
Okay, if Zach Steffen isn't starting for Manchester United or making at least the game day squads for Manchester City, does that affect your opinion on him? And who's their #1 if he's not getting minutes?
Well, that is a big question around Zach Steffen, is if he's not going to start and he's going to get time, he get games. And we talked. I mean, I think I've talked about this with people. I mentioned this came up on my radio show, Jared.
You have a radio show?
I didn't know if you knew I had a radio show, but I do have a radio show. And it was the question of how many games does Zach Steffen get? Like, what can you imagine he gets? He gets cup games. He gets maybe every 5th, every 6th Premier League match. Maybe. I think Ederson playing in the Champions League for sure. So what's the number of games that are okay for Zach Steffen to still be your #1 for the US?
If he gets 10 games this season, I think that's probably top end.
You think no, he's going to get more than 10. I think
you think so. You think they're going to be in that cup competitions that much and that long? They'll
go deep enough.
Prioritize them that much.
They'll go deep enough in the FA Cup and the League Cup that he'll get more than 10 matches for sure.
Okay.
It
is contingent on how far they make it in those 2 cups.
That is a major part of it, right?
And also if whether or not Ederson's health is.
Ederson's health is a major factor here too, and who knows? I mean, it's kind of wild that this is what Zach Steffen is now elevated to. That he's going to be playing.
Well, let's not forget, we thought Tim Howard was going to Manchester United to be the bench guy, and he worked himself into the starting spot. So it's not to be said that Zach Steffen can't do it. He just has to get there and actually have him see him week in, week out. And we can debate in a different show whether or not he should have stayed on loan someplace he'll get minutes or go try to earn a spot at a major team. But that's a conversation we were having with Christian Pulisic last season. We'll be having with Weston McKennie in the upcoming season. One thing to just go real quick back to the defenders. What name didn't come up? Would you take Tim Ream or Walker Zimmerman?
Tim Ream, I think.
Is that because he's playing in Nashville?
No, not necessarily. I think Tim Ream. I don't know. He's not the most athletic player out there, but I think he makes good decisions. Miles Robinson is a name that came up in the chat just now, and that's. I mean, this is why we're doing Marco Polo, right? This is exactly why we do it. Because Miles Robinson a pool player right now, or is he on the edge? Is he hanging out by the pool side? Is he going up to the concession stand and getting himself Doritos? And
is he a better physical center back than Walker Zimmerman? I don't think so.
Miles Robinson?
Yeah,
he is.
You think he's a better defender?
What do you mean? What do you mean
better defender than Walker Zimmerman?
Is he a better defender of Walker Zimmerman?
Walker Zimmerman has caps. Like legit caps
in
meaningful games.
He does.
He's looked really good with long in the
This is me being attracted to the young and sexy.
I know you love the young and sexy. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right. Danger zone. I would think I would rather at this point see Miles Robinson than Walker Zimmerman.
Okay, then the question is Robinson or Ream then for you?
Man.
There's only one spot on the bench.
We're playing for 2022, right? I'm going.
No, come on, dude. If you had this scenario is if you're playing a World Cup qualifier tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that Tim Ream's on the bench and not in the starting lineup. That's yeah.
But do you want him on the bench? Do you want Miles Robinson on the bench?
If I'm taking a team that's I need this team for training to get ready for something, and I need somebody who's versatile in case something happens, I'm taking Tim Ream.
Right,
I think
that's fair.
Where are you? No, where are you? Put your.
I would take because I didn't think of it at the time. I would take Walker Zimmerman over Tim Ream.
Wow. Okay.
I like Walker Zimmerman. I'm a big fan. I would even think about starting him over. Okay, people are gonna hate this over John Brooks just because I think I'm not saying that Walker Zimmerman is a better defender than John Brooks. I'm not saying that, but I think the relationship and center backs are all about relationship and communication. I think Long and Zimmerman have looked the best together of any center back duo.
This is like you're like the center back soothsayer, like the center back whisperer. I'm gonna tell you right now.
By 2022, you better be watching Depew out of LA.
Is it Depew or Dupuis?
Depew.
Okay, I get it wrong all the time. I want to make sure I got. I mean, I don't know. He's brand new to me. He's 25, right? Isn't he 25?
Yeah, he came out from the Los Dos. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his actual age of 20, but that dude's looked lights out this season so far.
You
Anyway,
are definitely in love with somebody there. I can tell that your eyes have gotten real big over.
I've been really impressed by watching him this season. Okay, in the midfield. All right, in the midfield on October 15th of 2019, we had Christian Roldan.
A billion years ago, by the way.
I know. Christian Roldan, Michael Bradley, Weston McKennie, Jordan Morris in the start. Sorry, there's a three-man. Excuse me. Roldan, Bradley, McKennie in the midfield.
Roldan, Bradley, McKennie is your three-man midfield, right?
Yeah,
okay.
And with a bench of Will Trapp, Jackson Ewell, Sebastian Lletget, Corey Baird, Tyler Boyd. So a ton of midfielders in this because Berhalter has no true strikers to speak of anywhere in his pool. So he has to take 7 to 8 midfielders that he can move into other positions.
Well, so you're just talking about the modern game, and you're talking about players whose job is to more sit at
both
home.
Modern game and US's biggest missing point.
Sure, there's some shallowness to this pool in certain spots, no doubt about that. And we're going to get to the forward pool because I think that, to me, that's what this is all about. Is figuring out what that forward pool looks like. Okay, so McKennie is in the pool. There's no doubt about that, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay. Michael Bradley is probably not in the pool anymore.
You don't think he's in the pool even as a substitute?
Over Will Trapp, yes. Okay, so Michael Bradley.
Yes, okay, let's start with the bench because that's where there's fat to be trimmed here.
Yeah,
Will Trapp is not a national team pool player right now to me.
Not at this point. No, I don't.
Jackson Ewell is on the cusp.
Ewell, I think Berhalter likes Jackson Ewell because I think he's good with the ball at his feet and he can pass.
But if you're making a choice right now between Jackson Ewell and Sebastian Lletget, who are you taking?
Sebastian Lletget, but they do different things, so I'm not sure that that's fair. By the way, also missing, because we did this with the center backs and we talked about John Brooks. Do you see the name Tyler Adams anywhere on this list?
I do not. So you at a minimum right now have to make room for a couple guys, and we'll hold off the names that need to make room for a second. Okay. Corey Baird, we had this conversation a while back. Corey Baird, national team level player.
The guys coming in, the guys jumping into the pool have to knock some players out. So you can determine how many players are definitely in, right? So that's why I bring Tyler Adams up, because he's absolutely 100% no chance.
But let me tell you someone who's absolutely out right now. Tyler Boyd. He got injured. He's
Tyler Boyd. I think he would be out anyway, but he's injured. An advanced player and a winger, and he would be a Jordan Morris rather than sitting back deeper. So,
but also injured right now, so he's not capable of being in the pool.
Well, so yeah,
Tyler Boyd, he take out easy. Will Trapp, we're taking out easy. There's 2 spots right there. Okay. Yes. Now let's figure how many more spots we have to create, because you need to make room for, as you said, Tyler Adams. No debate, correct?
No, nothing. No questions.
Let's get to one you can debate. Gio Reyna.
Gio Reyna's higher up the field. Wait until you get to the forward 3. I don't know why you're talking about the forward 3 right now.
All right.
You're confusing me.
That's fine. All right. Another name we're not talking about, Chris Mueller.
This is again. You're moving into the wing forward position.
I hate 4-3-3 so much. I don't understand how much I hate 4-3-3.
But you have to think about this. Okay, let's just stop with the 4-3 and 4, whatever. This is defensive midfielders. Okay, these are box and defensive midfielders. None of the guys you mentioned, Chris Mueller, Tyler Boyd, those guys are not box to box or holding midfielders, defensive midfielders. They're not.
That's fine. Okay. I hate 4-3-3 so much.
So this is where Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, you're knocking out Trapp. I get it.
Christian Roldan, which I wouldn't put in there, to be honest.
Michael Bradley goes to the bench, but he's in the pool because of the leadership and everything else. If you're knocking out Roldan, then you got to replace him with somebody. You mentioned Jackson Ewell. Is he still in your pool?
Yeah, I'd put him in the pool. I don't know if he's a starter. I think your starting 3 here are Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams. Man, I just don't think Jackson Ewell's ready for this. So it almost makes me keep Michael Bradley in, because I just don't know who else to put there right now.
Well, I think Tyler Adams plays the 6 or whatever you're going to call the 6, and then ahead of and then that trio players that are farther ahead of him that are playing box to box, Weston McKennie, and this is why I don't think you can kick Christian Roldan out of the pool, because who else are you going to? You could argue for Dwayne Holmes. You want to throw him in there?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't want either of them starting. That's the sad thing. I don't want either of them starting.
Okay, well then who are you starting?
I don't play a 4-3-3, and that's why. But
that he's playing.
You don't have the players for it.
But okay, that's a debatable. That's maybe a whole other show.
Okay, I'm taking Bradley, McKennie, and Adams.
Bradley, McKennie, and Adams are starting for you.
Yep. That would be the starter thing because I don't see it in the rest of. I don't think any of those other players that we're talking about are ready to start a World Cup qualifier tomorrow. I would take Bradley's experience, lose the pace, whatever thing you have there, and I would take that over the risk. I would because you're no matter what, you're going to field a young team, man. I'm okay with having a little bit of veteran leadership in there, but he's probably out after 60 minutes.
I think in terms of the speed of play, the athleticism, you lose so much because you have to play. You can't play Bradley. You can't play Bradley ahead. Bradley has to be the deepest lying midfielder. That's just where he best fits right now in his career. Okay. So if Bradley's the deepest lying midfielder. He's not going to cover a ton of ground. Well, then that means you're playing Adams and McKinney ahead of him. Now, if you drop one of them deeper to help do the defensive work and Bradley's there to pick up the ball and spray it, okay, maybe we can make that work. I'm not. I thought I hated it. I hate it less than now that I talked it out. But I'm not a fan.
There's a blast from the past that we could potentially talk about here. The Colorado Rapids suck right now, but is Kellen Acosta anywhere close to this team?
No, he's not. Isn't
sorry. Isn't he a better choice than some of these other guys though at that position still? You want Christian Roldan or you would rather have Kellen Acosta?
Christian Roldan, I think.
Wow. Okay. I just think I don't think it's Roldan's position.
Let me say something. Another name that's not in the pool because he's injured, who I think if he had gotten minutes and been fine would be in this mix, is Paxton Pomykal. And I don't know that you would start Paxton Pomykal because you're conservative. You want the old guy to play. But I think Paxton Pomykal would probably be in this mix. There was a time when Georgi Mihalovic was kind of in this
By the way, I'm a big fan of Jackson Ewell. I think he's played above his age and his station almost every time he's been given a chance.
Uh-huh.
But World Cup qualifier, man, that makes me nervous with a dude that doesn't have that much experience.
No, I understand. And this is you have to think about this in a game in San Pedro Sula, a game in San Jose, Costa Rica. That's how you have to think. I mean, obviously the Azteca is a different animal altogether. Kind of almost doesn't matter who you play, but you could also think about it that way. Who are you taking to the Azteca? Because if you're not going to play them in the Azteca at any point in the game, then why are they in the pool at all? This is a very specific pool, though. I mean, this is a Las Vegas rooftop pool where you've got to wait for 3 hours to get into.
Okay, so we made room for Tyler Adams. Was there anyone else we made room? So it's Tyler Adams for we're saying Will Trapp right now. That's a straight switch.
Here's where we go. Okay, so here we go with roles again. Okay, box to box and guys who can be creative but aren't wide players because Christian Pulisic is a wide player. Jordan Morris is a wide player. Tyler Boyd, who kicked out because of injury, is a wide player. Here we go. And this is Steve got it right here. I'm going to bring it in. Leggett. This is where Leggett fits in the field. So you tell me.
I said that. You're like, no, he doesn't play box to box. He's played box to box for the Galaxy and for the national team. He's just not doing it right now.
He didn't say Sebastian Lizette just didn't deserve. By the way, Brendan Aronson is also in this part of the field because he's not a wide player. He needs to be in the middle of the field, picking the ball up.
I think he needs to be a little more advanced than that, but that's fine.
But in the 4-3-3, where is advanced? You're playing a forward.
The top of a triangle that's in there. That's where.
Okay. So this is Brendan Aronson, Sebastian Lizette, the top of the triangle.
So Legett's already there. So are you dropping anyone? We already said Will Trapp for Tyler Adams. Are you dropping Jackson Ewell or Corey Baird to get Brendan Aronson into this team?
Corey Baird, Corey Baird's a wide player, but I can make up for that. So I'm dropping Corey Baird, I think.
Okay, I'm fair with that. I'm fine with that. I would take Brendan Aronson into that.
I think Jackson Ewell and Brendan Aronson are closer together in terms of skill set, but Jackson Ewell plays deeper than Brendan Aronson does. So again, and I'm not saying Jackson Ewell's ready to be the 6 because I don't think that's what he is, but you want to regista kind of player out there, like Michael Bradley.
Also, in terms of being like being flexible, Leggett and Aronson can play wide if they needed to as well. Either one of those guys can play wide.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't like Sebastian Leggett wide, but
he has the ability to if you had to.
He can.
So also as a false 9 if you had to.
Here it is, and this is also going to so higher up the field. And Holden is bringing up a question. This is the duality of this position. Gio in the midfield, Giovanni Reyna as the 10-8 role on the left side. He can flip-flop with Pulisic throughout the game. So you're starting Pulisic high in that 3-man front line, and then you have Giovanni Reyna inside of him, and they can flip-flop. What do you think of that?
So you're saying that Gio is in the midfield and Pulisic in the front 3?
Yes.
You're going to have to give Gio a lot of coverage behind him because
I don't think he's as bad as you think he is, but yes.
I don't think he's as good as people think he is at the national team level yet when he hasn't even played a dang cap and people are talking about putting him in the starting lineup.
By the way, this is the question. This is why we're here. And I picked out something. I said it on Twitter for everybody who follows me, Deos JSN, follow Jay Rodius as well. It's Jay Rodius. I said that I'm going to start calling the Giovanni Reyna era of the U.S. men's national team and of Dortmund. The G-Funk era, funked out with a gangster twist. Then we call it the G-Funk era. Now, there's a question here, and since we're talking about the pool, we don't have a drop on the board for Mr. Greg Berhalter. And you said it before the show. This could be the triple G-Funk era. Like,
man, how are you going to soil Gio's drop by associating it with Greg Berhalter?
Well, so this is what I'm saying. You want to give it to Gio, who also has.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
We have some crossover problems because Jedi is something Anthony Robinson's called, but we're using that because Giovanni Reina is Claudio's son, and he's a Jedi like his father before him. But also G-Funk fits for Giovanni Reina.
If Anthony Robinson starts being a fixture on the national team, I will let you drop the Jedi like my father before me, Gio, in favor of the G-Funk era consistently. You can use it right now, however you want, interchangeable.
Okay, so who gets the G-Funk drop? Nobody? Is it just?
No, I'm saying Gio can have the G-Funk drop.
Okay,
but I don't want to give up the Jedi one until Anthony Robinson does something where we have to establish a Jedi one for him.
We have this obviously because the man used to fly helicopters, and we made a joke about everybody on the airplane for the World Cup, and so the airplane's the chopper, get to the chopper. Yep. It makes sense. But Mr. Berhalter doesn't get his own drop yet. He hasn't earned it. Is that what we're saying?
Oh, I could think of some mean-spirited things.
No, not mean. I'm talking about you have to be honored with a drop on the board. It's not
let's let him do something to be honored, and then we'll figure out a drop.
Okay, well, we have to wait till 2021 for that, which is why we're breaking down the pool. Now, Eshmar says the midfield trio right now should be Adams, McKennie, Leggett, no questions. What do you think?
I would be 100% okay with that.
Okay. I by the way, starting lineup, I'm fine with that right now.
But the average soccer fan, U.S. soccer fan, needs to understand that means that you're starting Leggett over Gio Reyna, and I think some people are rose-colored glasses here.
No. Maybe you're right. People get excited. Again, you're like the king of the young and sexy. Okay,
I am, but I'm not dumb.
No, I know. I think I hope that people are thinking, oh, Giovanni Reina should get a look in. Giovanni Reina should be a player you get 20 minutes in a friendly to see how he does. Maybe you play him in the Nations League that has lower stakes than qualifiers. I don't think anybody is saying start Giovanni Reina right now for the U.S. men's national. I don't think that's the case. Do you?
No, I think some people are. He's got like 3 goals. No, hold on. How come Giovanni can get 3 goals in preseason and he's not ready for the national team? Don't get your hopes up. And then Josh Sargent gets 3 in the preseason. Start him!
Because Josh Sargent's been a consistent player for Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga.
We're consistent?
He's played games. Okay, Giovanni Reina's played, a handful of matches down the stretch of last year, and some friendlies. And he's also 17. Josh Sargent is now 20 at this point, and he's been there. He's got some seasoning. And look, I'm not saying Werder Bremen is the best team in the world. It's not. It's a pretty crappy team in the Bundesliga right now who barely avoided relegation.
Okay, so let's go ahead and
talking the boy up. Give him a chance.
Let's phase into those front 3 then, so we
You're
can talk about
this. Dad on the front porch with a shotgun. Like, don't come near my daughter, the national team. It'll take you out.
One last thing though on this the middle 3. Sebastian Leggett has been relishing this free role that Guillermo Berlusconi has given him, where he is playing. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a 10, but he's free. He goes wherever he wants in that midfield. I think it's something he's doing really well with, and having the dual cover of Adams and McKennie. I don't know that he is a consistent long-term option for the U.S. national team, but right now, I think he would be the best option in that role.
I think if you have McKennie and Adams on the field together, you can get away with some stuff.
Until Gio's ready.
Maybe until Gio's ready. And he might be the guy. And I mentioned Dwayne Holmes, and he's probably not in the pool, based on what we were talking about using last year's roster. Maybe he is. Maybe Dwayne Holmes is a guy
he had a great run last season.
Yeah, maybe he's a guy who pushes Christian Roldan out. And you have Giovanni Reina coming in. Huh? Sebastian?
I'm totally okay with that. I just don't think we're down as national team level.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's move on to. I don't know that we sorted out the midfield necessarily, but let's move on.
Close enough. We took out Trapp, and we put in Adams. That was probably our big move there, and Leggett was already there. And we talked about dropping Corey Baird for. I can't remember who it was. We talked about dropping Corey Baird for someone.
Well, you have Morris. You have, if you're talking about straight line speed, by the way, Chris Mueller is a player who probably knocks Corey Baird out of the pool if you're doing that straight swap at this point.
I would be okay with that. So the starters in this game were Jordan Morris, Josh Sargent, Christian Pulisic. A lot of people probably wouldn't change that right now.
Yeah, this is where we come to actual center forward. And I want to focus in on that group, okay? Because you can talk about Pulisic, you can talk about Morris, you can talk about Chris Mueller, Corey Baird, Tyler Boyd. I don't think Boyd and Baird are in their pool right now, but they're maybe hovering around ready if you need them, although Boyd's hurt. I think there are a couple of other players in Major League Soccer who are maybe on the rise. in those positions who are interesting. Again, Brendan Aronson, I'm not sure where he fits into this, but
It's a
I
tough
think
one.
he's a guy who needs to get a look in with that midfield central midfield 3.
I would definitely call him up to the national team if there's a World Cup qualifier tomorrow. I don't think I'd start him, and I'm not sure how I'd use him, but he offers coverage at a lot of different positions.
Okay, so then let's talk about center forward, because right now the center forward group is Josie Altidore, who, look, I love Josie Altidore. I make no bones about it. I don't know that he's the player he used to be, and I don't know he's the player I trust right now in a national team game in a difficult environment. Josh Sargent, as you said, is green. You don't believe in him. You're sitting here talking about bringing up Terrence Boyd. You're calling up Terrence Boyd over Josh Sargent
now, so I'm not brilling him.
Well, that was insane when you did it. Just so you know, like that was.
Oh yeah, it's insane to bring up a guy with like 20 goals.
Yeah, look, but he was scoring goals in like the third division in somewhere in second division Austria, something like that. Whatever it was.
And Sargent's coming off the bench in Werder Bremen.
He's not. He's starting. He's starting in friendlies, yes, but he's starting.
What percentage of games last year do you think he started?
I don't know, 25, 30%.
Okay, and that's worth more to you than 20 goals. And a guy who's played in the national team
playing a higher level? Yes, I think it is. Okay. I think it's worth more to be.
Each their own.
Yeah, okay. So it's Josie Altidore, it's Josh Sargent, it's Giassi Zardes.
Now, here's the thing. Josie Altidore was not in this 23-man roster, so you've got to make room for him.
Okay.
So right now, we already talked about
in. There's no argument, right? He's 100% in, even if he's a little bit knocked up. And
okay, so there's a conversation we had there. Do you drop Zardes for Altidore, or do you make room for Altidore and have all three as an option?
You make room for Altidore and have all three as an option.
Then you can't take Chris Miller because you got to drop Corey Baird for that spot.
Right. Well, Tyler Boyd's out. Corey Baird's out.
But Adams took Boyd's spot, so we already did that earlier. So Aronson was taking Corey Baird's spot.
Will Trapp is out, but we brought in Tyler Adams.
No,
right?
there is a spot that we didn't talk about. Paul Arriola is hurt. He was in this roster.
By the way, Paul Arriola would be that would be the next guy up behind Jordan Morris. Yeah, he's your guy that you put out on the main.
It's an easy thing to decision right now because Arriola's hurt. You bring Josie Altidore in. There's your way of getting all three. Zardes, Sargent, and Altidore all in by dropping Paul Arriola.
So you're in a qualifier. Okay. And again, San Pedro Sula, Jose Jose Costa Rica, the Azteca. Maybe you're even in, I don't even know. Pick another Central American country where it's definitely not easy to play. You're in one of those places. You're in Port of Spain. You have to face Trinidad and Tobago on their home turf again with all the memories.
So much water.
Angst and the pain and the what? Wait, water?
Piggyback rides across the track field.
Oh, right. When everybody got mad at them making fun of the track with the waterlogged situation. You're going to those places.
Yeah.
Who do you start? Mr. Dubois.
Josie Altidore.
Okay.
It's not even really close, to be honest with you, because what Josie Altidore may not be and here's the three. I'm not counting on Josie Altidore to score. I'm really not. I'm counting on him to be the fulcrum in the front that can hold the ball, distribute, and let the runners get into position.
But he's by far the best passer of the group. There's no doubt about that.
He's the best back to goal guy too.
He's the best back to goal guy, and I
just don't know that he doesn't really make his own shot as well as maybe Josh Sargent might be able to. Giassi Zardes can finish with any part of his body. We know that.
Well, if you get Giassi's service, I mean, give the guy credit.
Giassi's he's lighting it up in MLS right now.
He's lighting it up right now, and everybody's kind of.
Is he leading the league right now in goal scoring?
Rossi was ahead of him. I don't know where things are right now, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Giassi Zardes is doing well in the environment that he does well in, which is a team made for him to get him the ball, but he's making the runs. And it was that first goal that he scored, I think. Yeah, because the second one he followed up his own shot after it got saved. Yeah. The second goal he scored
hustle play.
It was the second goal he scored for Columbus this weekend was a beauty. He makes an inside out run that just completely fooled his mark or his marker. And again, maybe
do you agree with me though? Are you starting Josie Altidore if it's a World Cup qualifier tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm still there. That's still my situation.
That's on the other forwards. None of them have done enough to displace Josie Altidore at this point. And Josie Altidore still got old man game. Not that he's an old man. Was he 31?
Yeah, he very much is like the guy who goes down to the beach and drops 35.
He's like Magic Johnson back there. He knows how to use his butt, man. You put that butt in there, you move it around. You move a defender around pretty easy. He's smart. The dude's smart. He knows how to hold the ball. He knows how to find a runner. He's a good passer, like you said. I don't know that he's the guy that's going to be taking a shot from 20, but that's okay. I mean, I think he gets Christian Pulisic into a better position. You saw what Christian Pulisic can do with a good number 9 in Giroud. Yeah, like with Giroud, like he had a classic number 9 that wants to play back to goal, that wants to get into the box, find the head. I think that's the most apples to apples in terms of relationship, like Christian Pulisic is used to dealing with at Chelsea.
Okay. I think that's the game of Marco Polo done.
Marco.
I think it's over.
Marco.
I don't know. Do we fill up the pool? Do we kick some people out? I think we did, right? Somebody's mom came and picked them up.
I don't know. Did we end up making room for Gio Reyna?
Yeah, we figured. I don't know.
Okay.
We figured it out. Okay, the pool is messy. That's what I'm. The pool is
Someone peed in it.
Somebody definitely peed in this damn pool. We've got some other stuff that I want to get to. I got to talk about your boys. Okay. And I don't want to turn this into the LA Galaxy show. It's not. There's a show another show that does that corner of the galaxy. Go listen to it. But I have to mention that not only do your boys own LAFC, which I know brings you all kinds of glee.
Like we have papers, deeds, certificates.
Yeah, it
pink
says
slip.
Owner. Yeah. Not only do you have the deed to LAFC and this situation, but your club has taken some hard shots on social media, like just trolling it up. The troll.
You know who runs the LA Galaxy social media. Were you expecting anything less?
No. I
love who runs our team.
Doing his thing. I know it's a team effort, and
Chris and Brendan know exactly what they're doing over there, man. That was okay. So if you guys don't know, and I didn't know until right before the show, and Jason let me know, they were so smart. First of all, this is why you don't go on Cameo. This is why you don't do Cameo.
Have we talked about my Cameo-like thing on the radio?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, we did not talk about it. I think on one of the bonus shows we might have talked about it.
Bonus show. Yeah.
This is why kids don't go on Cameo. Okay.
Well, first of all, you have to be moderately famous to be on Cameo at all. Okay. Let's just say
definitely moderate. Okay. So
don't go on Cameo.
I guess Mark Anthony K and Max Bretas are on Cameo.
Must be.
And they thought enough. The LA Galaxy front office thought to have them congratulate a youth team in California, saying that they're the best team in LA. And they got these guys to say it, and they twisted their words around, even used names of Galaxy players as the youth players to congratulate.
Yeah.
You have two LAFC guys congratulating the Galaxy, and that's world-class trolling.
It's world-class trolling. Is it dirty pool? Is it dirty pool?
That's creative pool. That's like saying a skip shot. Is a skip shot dirty pool?
Well, the ball,
you thought of a way to go around the table.
Yeah, you can't leave you can't leave the surface of the table. So that's what I'm saying. Like, is this?
You got to respect the game, though.
Just a little bit. So who do you put? How do you feel about this situation for Max and for Mark? Like, are they got God? Did they get God because they weren't on their toes? Like, who?
I think you got to. Game's got to respect game, right?
I don't know. So Max has not addressed this publicly, as far as I'm aware.
Max got a good sense of humor, though.
No, he does. He's
got Galaxy love from back in the day. He was our guy before he was their guy.
I know he was. I know he's a SoCal guy. He was your guy before he's their guy. I love Max. I want to get Max on this show in the near future. I didn't really set this up to like maybe poke at Max to see if he could call us up or get on the show today. But I want to know what he thinks about. Like, I want to know how he feels about this. Because again, like, you're a professional broadcaster and I mean, I don't know.
You feel worse for him or Mark Anthony K?
I think I feel worse for Max. Mark Anthony K is a player, whatever. He's got focus on the game. He got the request. He thought he was doing it for some kids. Like, that's what players do, right? I'm going to help out some kids. Like, meanwhile,
so right now, but two hottest teams in the league right now, Galaxy and Minnesota.
Columbus, I think, is ahead of
Columbus too. I'll put Columbus up there too.
I mean, they got the 0-0 again.
Honestly, as a Galaxy supporter, I'll tell you, I'm not sure they're for real.
The Galaxy. Okay, we'll come back to the Galaxy. Minnesota's not the hottest team in the league. They got walloped in Texas twice. How can they be the best team, the hottest team in the league?
They're still good, though.
I think they're still good. This is why that travel thing is so
4-0, but it was a Salt Lake. Does that really count if it's Salt Lake? I don't really know.
You were the one telling us that Salt Lake's defense is absolute trash on this show.
It is trash.
Okay, well, let's talk briefly about your Galaxy before we run out of time, because I think the question hovering in the air, because Christian Pavone is the real deal. Like, he is legit. There's no doubt about that. Again,
I don't know how Galaxy's going to afford to keep him out on this loan, dude. Yeah, I think you get the most out of him you can while you got him.
They spend that much money.
I don't know if they can afford it. He's the real deal. He's legit. He's the truth. Sebastian Lletget scoring goals and playing out of his mind. I mean, Becky G has lots of reasons to tweet about her boy right now. That's working out for him.
And I told you about Julian Araujo, right?
You told me about Julian Araujo. You're getting contributions from Efrain Alvarez. You've obviously got Jonah Dos Santos kind of coming in.
The weird thing is Perry Kitchen's playing like it's 2016.
Okay, so Perry Kitchen is playing good soccer too.
I have not seen Perry Kitchen play well in 2 years, and last 3 games he's looked very good.
And I am not necessarily a Joe Corona guy, but he's playing. They're all playing pretty good, right? And you already mentioned Nick DePuy because that's the key in the back. You kick Giancarlo Gonzalez out of that back line, and now you're better.
Trash.
Do you need? I already know how I'm setting up here. Like I'm very aware of this. Do you need Chicharito Hernandez? Is Zubek the guy? Is that going to be a thing?
Oh, he's not the guy. I'll tell you right now, he's not the guy. But do you mess with something that's working? Because Chicharito was in the first 3 games of the season. Chicharito 2 games before, or was it 3 games before Amos is back?
2
games before Amos is back. First game Amos is back. They lost all 3. Chicharito looking like a ghost of himself.
He scored in the one game again.
Yeah, but he missed 3 shots of on the goal line.
They lost that game, right? He scored, but they lost that game.
Yes,
that's correct.
But he had missed a sitter earlier and maybe a penalty, I think, in that same game.
He did miss a penalty at some point. Yeah.
So if I'm curious, okay, I'm not saying you don't play the guy that you're paying so much money to. But I am saying you definitely let him take his time recovering from his broken muscle.
Yeah, I mean,
but unfortunately, this is Los Angeles.
You don't rush this.
I need more than talent. I need stars. Enjoy the party.
Enjoy the party. Enjoy the party. That's my new sign off. Whenever I talk to besties now, I'm going to say, enjoy the party.
Enjoy the party.
Enjoy the party. It's a star league. It's a star team. It's the star team. It's the legacy of Beckham.
But the job of the team is to get wins, right?
No, I understand that. You're winning games right now. It's a weird situation.
How big is GBS's bola sack if he
doesn't have the juice? He does not have the. You think GBS has that sort of juice in that organization? Not a chance. Not a chance. You know what?
There's no crowd.
Uncle, what?
There's no crowd, so like.
No, I know, but Uncle Phil picks up the phone and he says, "Excuse me, Guillermo," because he says it right, Guillermo.
Okay.
You have to play Chicharito Hernandez. We're paying him $6 million a damn year. Play him. That's what he says. And he gets played as soon as he's healthy.
I'm not going to make anything like Zubak is somehow better than, but
I want to hear it though. I want to hear you say it.
But the dude's working hard for the team, and
he's working hard for the money.
What this team looks like over the last 4 games is honestly the anti-LA Galaxy from its history. It's a working class team. It's a blue collar team. They are shutting down passing lanes. They're shutting down players. They're working hard as team defense, and then they're getting good opportunities going the other way.
So this is the thing about not having him in there and having Zubek, who you can tell me more about his game. I'm not well versed on it. But so against LAFC this last time out, and obviously Jonathan Dos Santos is starting if he's healthy. There's no question about that, 100%. He came in as a second half substitute in this win over LAFC, the 3-0, right?
Yeah.
So you started in central midfield. You started Perry Kitchen next to Joe Corona.
Yep.
There is more creativity in a guy in a coma than in that pair. So, and that's not what you're looking for, but that's what I'm asking.
When you got Carlos Pavone on one side of the field, right? It doesn't matter what you do in the middle; it's what you do down the left. And he switches fields every 10 minutes. He is on the left, on the right, on the left, on the right, just bouncing back and forth. And you have Sebastian Lletget pivoting from the middle. So it's a good thing that they got going right now. But I don't want to give toot their horn because, like I said, I don't necessarily believe in this team still yet. I don't think they're a 4-win-a-row dominant team. They're getting some luck breaking their way, and I don't think they're a dominant team in any way. But it's nice to see a little bit of light, and it's good to see some life come back to the Galaxy.
Let me ask you, how close was GBS to legitimately not getting fired, but just legitimately being on the hot seat? Like,
I think he was there.
I think he was one game away.
I think so. I mean, I think coming out of that tournament and not being able to get Chicharito off to the start, because you're not getting rid of Chicharito, right? You can't get rid of him. No. And if something has to change, what are you going to do? To get rid of Dominic Kinnear? Like, no, you get rid of Guillermo Basilotto.
Yeah, or his brother. You could get rid of his brother, too.
You can't split up twins, dude. They're Siamese, aren't they?
I don't think you're allowed to say stuff like that. Oh, I don't think so.
Dog.
They're always sitting next to each other.
They're not. They're not even called Siamese. They're called conjoined twins now, Jerry.
My bad, dude. I thought they
You
were
have to be
Siam.
up with the times, okay? Conjoined. Anyway, they're not. And it's Guillermo and why am I?
Oh man, you're making me blank on it right now. I can't remember off the top of my head. But speaking of coaches who should lose their job, Chris Armas gets the sack this week at New York Red Bulls.
Got absolutely
Deserved?
flat out can. Yeah, I think so. Although I think he's also a victim of some bad roster building on that
absolutely.
Part. I mean, that's a disaster, right? So
I don't know that there's many people that could do much better than Chris Armas did with that team, to be honest with you.
Really? Okay. All right.
That team's just not that good. Like there's just not
no,
enough pieces there.
and when you look,
they're not spending money.
LAFC is going through a difficult time, despite they beat San Jose, which right now is nothing. That doesn't mean a damn thing. But obviously, Bradley Wright Phillips still had gas left in the tank, and they were like, "See ya, we're done." I don't think. And look, Ryan Mira is not Luis Robles, right? I mean, Luis Robles is playing for a bad team right now. He could be doing.
How long can Aaron Long still be considered our center back starter if he's playing on that team and losing so much?
I mean, that's maybe that's fair. Maybe that's fair. I mean, I think their midfield is a disaster. It's not Parker and Long necessarily. It's everything ahead of them.
Okay, so if that performance over the last year or so is worth Chris Armas' job, how is Ben Olsen still have a job?
These are different teams, I guess. They're
different eyes. I don't know, but what would Ben Olsen have to do to lose his job?
Well, so
I'm not advocating because I like Ben. I like Ben Olsen. I watched him in Nottingham Forest on like clips and streams in the 90s.
Yeah. I know you're old. I know. I get it. I think what you're talking about is two teams with different.
You know how hard it was for me not to ask Poppy Miller a Ben Olsen question when I found out she grew up supporting Nottingham Forest. Then I did the math and realized she might not have been born when he played there.
She probably wasn't. They tell tales of the hairy little man who came from America. He signed a Yeti from a little miniature Yeti from America.
He's all sweater and no hamstring.
No knees. I was going to say that that the situation at DC United, it's all about your starting position, right? It's all about where did you come from, what's your expectation, and where are you now? So in New Jersey, they were a supporter shield winning team. That's what Chris Armas took over, right? When he got the job because the man who went to Germany first and then to
So feel respect for the Gegner.
and then to Austria, that gentleman, Jesse Marsh, best interview in the game. When he left, he got the job. He led that team to a supporter shield in 2018. Okay? 2019 was a dip. Not good, not as good as it could have been, certainly not what they were used to. That was sort of the audition.
Got rid of Sasha Kleshtin that year. Tyler Adams left around that same time, right?
He left ahead of the 2019 season, I think.
Okay. And then this year, you lose Bradley Wright Phillips. They don't keep him around.
No.
They had weird decisions going on in that team.
Yeah, there obviously there was some they could not replace Tyler Adams, and maybe you put that on everything on Tyler. The fact Tyler Adams left, and maybe it's not Chris Armas' fault. But what I'm saying is Chris Armas took a team that won a supporter shield in 2018, which he won in the second half as head coach, and turned them into the team they are now, which is a shell of themselves. Now, again, it's about who they signed. But if you have that expectation as a club, and here's the other factor here for the Red Bulls. They've got a brand new head of sport, which is the fanciest ass title in Major League Soccer. Thelwell comes in. Kevin Thelwell comes in. I think he was at Wolves, if I remember correctly.
Sure.
And he's the guy in charge. And I do not know where Dennis Hamlet is. Dennis Hamlet is lost. Dennis Hamlet is in a cupboard somewhere, put away, never to be seen again. I don't know what he's doing, but this is Kevin Thelwell's team. And I think as soon as there was an excuse to fire Chris Armas because he was not Thelwell's guy, Thelwell took it. Like,
so if Ben Olsen's team is so bad that losing to it is worth losing your job, what does that say about Ben Olsen?
Well, this is what I'm saying. DC United started from being crap, living through crap, wading through some more crap. I mean, they were Andy Dufresne in the tunnel, okay? They in the drain trying to get free. They were just walking through a ton of crap. Now they came out on the other side without a field, and expectations raised a little bit, and they made some signings. Wayne
Rooney carried them to a playoff berth,
but they still didn't have high expectations. They still weren't thinking, oh, we're going to be Eastern Conference champions. We're going to win an MLS Cup. That's our goal. That's been the Red Bull goal forever. Okay. So, and that was the expectation. I think Ben Olsen just hasn't failed enough relative to their expectations for them to say he's gone.
Man, so basically this team is one Paul Arriola away from being a winning team.
I mean, I don't know. Look, Edison Flores has face fractures and he's out now. So do you blame him? Do you blame Ben Olsen for that?
No, I don't blame him for that, but I just think you can blame him for a lot of the other stuff that's been going on this team for check my watch, 12 years?
It's been a long time.
When did he sign with as the coach there?
He's been there. I think he's been there 8 years. He's the second longest tenured head coach in Major League Soccer. Do you know who the first one is?
Oh man,
you can do this. I believe in you.
I believe in me too. As the head coach the whole time.
Yes. Who's been the head coach the longest in their club in Major League Soccer right now? Come on.
Oh man, I am not thinking who.
Give you a hint.
John Curtin, right?
I can say no. I can say one. I can say it's a compound word. I can say a word, and you will get it. Ready?
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Ready?
Hold on.
No.
What?
Flat top.
Dang it! God dang it! Just say Kansas City, Vermees.
There he is.
God, I can't even think of the dude. I mean, I think Peter Vermees has absolutely done more to earn that job for that long than Ben Olsen has.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. He won an MLS Cup. He took his team to another. Well, he went to the playoffs every year, but they lost a bunch of first round games before figuring it out and going deeper. I don't know.
Before we wrap up here, do you want in just a few minutes? Do you want to hear my dad joke that I just thought of today?
Man, do I? Okay, I thought I was old dad FC. Are you like consulting?
Come on, dude. I had kids before you did. No, actually, no, you didn't. You had kids before.
I'm going to keep doing this. And by the way, I'm going to keep doing this until we speak it into existence. Shout out to Icarus FC. Where's our old dad FC designs? I'm not asking for them to do it.
Man, you're very forward in the way you ask for things.
I mean, I don't know. This shirt is like 8 years old. The Timbers forgot about me, so I'm not even pushing for more MLS gear.
I bought this one.
I just want.
Well, do you have a jersey you've even bought?
Coordinate.
Yeah.
You got to coordinate.
I think maybe I'd have to go through. I'm not sure.
All right, my old dad joke that I thought of today is what do you call Gio Reyna when he signs with the New York Red Bulls one day?
What do I call Gio Reyna when he signs with the New York Red Bulls one day? Go ahead, tell me. What is
Gio Metro?
Okay, you know what?
What?
Okay, I'll give you a ding or two for that. That's okay. It's pretty good. It's not so obvious if you get shot down immediately. Geo Metro. Yeah. You know what?
Man, 3 people in the chat knew it was Vermees and I didn't. God dang it.
All right, we have like 3 minutes before you got to run. So I don't know what to say about it anymore, other than that it makes me misty to watch Weston McKennie do all this stuff at Juve. They had video of him walking out into the field there in the stadium, like just looking at the size of it. It's
listen, they're not missing any beats in terms of trying to pull on American heartstrings during this.
No. By the way, did you see him in the trophy room? Trophy room. There's a video of him walking around. It's an entire room with just like glass cases with trophies in them because Juve has so many trophies. I mean, I may think it's ridiculous that one club can dominate.
Here's the thing, though. He's about to play potentially on the field in the relative position that Zinedine Zidane played in.
That's about right. That's about right.
I feel like I'm somehow making that a bigger statement than it is, but that's actually kind of true.
I mean, that's not untrue. It's not. Now, minutes and all that, that's still a question, but let's just revel in this, right? Let's just be excited that there's an American at Juve and he's getting this treatment, right? And they are doing it up. They are not pretending like he's a little signing that just comes in to help them here or there, spots. They're acting like he's a big deal. Now, again, who knows what happens? We're going to see. It's on Andrea Pirlo, right? And did you see the pictures of him training in front of Andrea Pirlo? Just kind of
that was kind of like let's just say I didn't need Viagra. That shot alone, it's like, oh my God. It's like watching Obi-Wan, like looking at like Anakin from afar. Like I could do something with this one.
Speaking of dad stuff, Andrea Pirlo's a dad hat guy. Is that the best look for him?
And you know what? He's got so much fashion sense in other times when you see him, but like his coaching wear, it's just not on the right level. We haven't seen him on the sideline yet. We'll see what he looks like on the sideline.
I'm assuming no hat on the sideline. That he's going to go suit and the whole thing.
Here's what's made me disappointed. He's been a lot more Bob Bradley than he has been like Roberto Mancini or something like that.
Okay. All right. But that he hasn't coached a game yet. He's just been in training like that. We can't judge him on that, right? Track pants, comfortable collared shirt.
Yeah, listen. The
That
game
hat.
is where you're going to judge him by. Okay, like where's it? But I've just been a little bit surprised, man. I just thought he had more style than that. But
Well,
the
pressure's on Jared Pirlo.
Speaking of sideline wear, you see Thierry Henry on the sideline kicking boards.
Yeah, I saw
signboards?
him gesticulating. I think is
Have
the
you
word.
ever seen someone? Coaches get mad on the sideline. I mean, it's very Bobby Knight-ish what he's doing up there in Montreal.
He
But
lived every moment. Yeah.
it just is like you never have to guess what that guy is feeling as the coach of his team.
Well, he's playing the game in his head. This is the thing about great players. They have trouble adjusting to players who can't do what they
And
do.
how do you articulate it?
No, you can't. I mean, you can do tactics.
And this is the same thing Pirlo's going to have now in front of him as well. The great players, how do they get their teams to understand what they see in their head innately?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. But the other thing about Thierry Henry and those videos, him on the sideline stalk, there's not a more intimidating walk in Major League Soccer than Thierry Henry. He walks like
Stalks is what he does.
But it's like that. It's a half strut. It's not a full strut because that's ridiculous. It's just enough of a strut for you to go, oh damn.
He is just as likely to come join you in a dog pile when you score at the corner flag as he is kick a water bottle in your face in the locker room.
Those two things are definitely happening for Thierry Henry. Yeah, he's like a lion. He walks. I mean, I hate to make.
Don't you want to see him win a championship just to watch the celebration of the locker room?
Yeah, I do. But I maybe he can win the Canadian.
He's the only coach in the league that controls the music in the locker room. I feel.
Oh, what do you think he's playing? Like French rap, right? Like that stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. I think he's into a lot of American stuff too. He's in Canada. Maybe it's Drake.
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's French rap. I mean, I'm sure. I'm not going to try to pigeonhole the man, but the only reason I say that is because I just started The Boys. Have you watched The Boys?
I watched the whole first season.
Okay, so I just started the first season. First of all, damn, had no idea that that's what I was walking into.
Yeah.
And there's a character who listens to French rap in the first couple of episodes. So
that is correct, sir.
All right. We gotta get out of here. Shout out to everybody in the chat who was jumping in. Thanks to everybody who's listening. Ratings and reviews, and I know we're up to like 130 or in that area or something. So let's keep that going on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever you call it. Ratings and reviews. Just drop in your favorite drop, like whatever your favorite drop is, like that.
What have you done for me lately?
Or this one, or the new one. I want Greg Berhalter to earn it. I want him to earn it.
I'm just glad that there's both Nate Dogg and BBD on our show now.
We didn't do any pick your poison. But we do have range, right?
All we need now is Bismarcky, and we'll be good to go.
There we go. You do need some Bismarcky. How is KRS-One? Are you a KRS-One guy?
Nah.
Okay. All right, that's going to do it. Ratings, reviews. Hit us up on Twitter at Bestie Soccer, Instagram at The Best Soccer Show. Mr. Dubois, anything else for the people before we go?
Patreon. Hit us up on Patreon if you want the bonus shows. There's always more shows. You just need to go check it out.
Go find it. JD and the Rod on Patreon. We didn't change anything from the old name. So JD and the Rod on Patreon. Jump in. That also gives you access to the Slack, which is always bumping. People are asking us questions for new shows.
Talk about French rap.
Here's a tease for the bonus show. If you jump on the Patreon, we're going to go through every single drop that I got, and we're going to tell stories around them, maybe get rid of some, maybe inaugurate new ones like we did today. I don't know, something like that. All right, Mr. Dubois, we done? We done.
That's it.
All right, see you guys next week. Bye.
Get to the chopper!
Danger zone!
Duh and or hello. I wouldn't be cut dead in a sweater vest.
Oh, how did I spend that much money?
What are we doing?
The horror show!
You got to coordinate.
Who asked those questions?
Oh, crazy. Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes.
Damn, dog. That's inappropriate, dog.
Inappropriate.
Michael freaking Arasco